The next resource which you all are going to study is the water resource. Now we all know that water plays a very important role in our day-to-day life. All humans depend upon water. Okay, now what are water? They are basically natural resources and which we are using in our day-to-day life. Okay, now this water, how we are using it in the form of agriculture, industrial purpose, household purpose, and also environmental activities. In order to nurture and grow in an environment, water plays important role. In order to reproduce, water plays important role. In order to plants, for their proper growth, for proper nourishment, water is required. In previous lectures, in chapter 1, I have already explained you all that 97% of the water is what? Is salt water. Only 3% of the water is which you can say fresh. Out of that also, two-third portion of the water is stored in the form of glaciers and ice caps. Only 0.3% is available, which is called, you can say, fresh water, and whole earth sustains on that 0.3 percentage. So you can see this is a small fraction on which whole life depended. Okay, whole life is dependent on this small fraction. So water is a renewable resource, but it is steadily decreasing. Why it is decreasing? Because of population, excess population, and also misuse of water, and this population polluting the environment. Many areas are not getting proper rains, so no storage of water is there. Annual storage of water is less, and this type of activities or these issues are arised in the areas of Asia, South America, and North America. So we should find out different ways. Different ways should be there in order to prevent this, in order to prevent the degradation of our natural ecosystems. Okay, so now next one is different sources. I have already explained you what natural resources is, water resources, and now we'll start with different sources. There are three sources. First one is the surface water, second one is the groundwater, which is also called as subsurface water, and third one is the frozen water. Now first one is the surface water. Now surface water is, you can say, water which is stored in the river and lakes. Okay, this is the picture of surface water. This is the water which is stored in the rivers and lakes. Now how this water is generated, I'll explain you all it scientifically. Okay, listen carefully. Surface water, you can say, is naturally restored. It is naturally restored by a process called as precipitation. Now what precipitation is? Precipitation means accumulation of water through rainfall and snowfall. Means this is the surface. Over here precipitation takes place. Here due to rainfall, due to snowfall and many other factors, water is accumulated. I'll explain in Hindi. बारिश की वजह से, बर्फ पड़ने की वजह से अर्थ के सरफेस के ऊपर वाटर accumulate हो जाता है, and that water is called as surface water. Now since this water is naturally restored, so there are chances that this water will be naturally evaporated. Yes or no? Yes. So how this will be evaporated? By, first is the evaporation process which naturally takes place. Second is discharging of the water in the oceans. The water is naturally discharged to the oceans. Okay, and the third part is the subsurface seepage. Again I am repeating, the third part is the subsurface seepage. Now what is happening in subsurface seepage? Subsurface means the groundwater. Seepage means what? These are pores, or you can say small holes between rock and soil. इस एरिया में, इस एरिया में स्मॉल होल्स है और स्मॉल पोर्स है जिसमें से वाटर पास हो रहा है, एंड पास होने के बाद वो कहाँ जा रहा है? ग्राउंड वाटर में मिक्स हो रहा है. सो दैट इज व्हाट अ सब सरफेस सीपेज इज ऑल अबाउट. इट इज अ, you can say, activity through which water is stored in the groundwater. The water is getting stored or passing through small holes and getting stored in the ground level. So that is what subsurface seepage is. First, I explained you all how surface water is accumulated, and then how the water is evaporated or stored in the groundwater. This is how surface water totally works. Now one more point. Although the only natural input to any surface water system is precipitation. Now this precipitation is happening in the watershed. Okay, the total quantity of the water in that system, it is also dependent on different factors. In other words, the watershed management I have explained you all, it is the water which is accumulated in rivers, lake, pond, etc. Okay, and this surface water, it is not consistent. Different areas will have different levels of water. It depends upon the area of the pond and also other factors. What are these other factors? You can say the capacity, okay, and how the artificial reservoirs are constructed. Okay, after that, local evaporation. As I told you, the surface water, it is naturally restored. Also, it is naturally evaporated. So the level of surface water is not fixed. It depends upon many factors. Those factors can be artificially creation, or you can say evaporation, levels, or the capacity of lake, streams, and pond. It depends upon that, and on this factor only the surface water is stored. And one of the other negative impact is the activities which are conducted by the human. These also degrade, or you can say reduce, the level of the surface water. Okay, so this is what a factor which should be considered. The next part which you all are going to study now is the groundwater. Groundwater is also called as a subsurface water. Okay, now this groundwater is also a fresh water which is located in the pore space of the soil and rocks. Now, what is pore space of the soil and rock? I have explained your seepage. Okay, so how this water is stored over here, when this, again I'm repeating, when the surface water, it is transmitted through small holes, and these holes are between soil and rock. When it is transmitted, the water is stored at the ground level. Now this level water is, you can say, very fresh, because it is not directly connected to the outer surface. It is not directly connected to the humans. They are not directly easily available. Okay, and the next point is given over here. It is also the water that is flowing within aquifers below the water table. Now what basically a aquifers is, it is a rock. Okay, these term seepage and aquifers is one and the same. Aquifers means it is a rock which is allowing the transmission of water. So understood what is aquifers? I am again repeating, it is a rock which allows the transmission of water in the ground level. Okay, now when we talk about surface water and subsurface water, there is a slight difference in both of that. What is the slight difference? First of all, that the subsurface water, when we talk about subsurface water, they are much larger. The input of the subsurface water, or I'll talk, let's use groundwater. The input of the groundwater is much larger compared to the input of the surface water. Why? Because it is stored beneath. Okay, so that is why large quantity of water is stored in the groundwater. And the drawback of surface water is that it is accumulated only at the surface level. It is naturally occurred, and also there are many factors of due to which evaporation of that water take place, or the surface water get reduced. Okay, and I have already explained you all in the last part that how the water is reduced at the surface level. So only this is the minor difference in both the waters, that is surface water and subsurface water. So, and also one more thing takes place. Sometimes the groundwater becomes saline. How they become saline? Because the surface water, when the evaporation of surface water takes place, the soil over there degrades, it becomes saline, and the water gets through this drainage, through these holes. It also makes the groundwater saline. So this is a small drawback which you all can understand, which is caused in groundwater. Third one is the frozen water. Now this water is the water which is stored in the form of glaciers and ice caps. I have already explained you all that 70% of the water is which you can say saline, which is not useful, and 2.3% of the water is trapped in ice caps and glaciers. Means a large percentage of the surface water is stored in ice caps and glaciers, and due to that it is not available for daily usage. But due to greenhouse effects, these glaciers are melting, and melting of these glaciers are also not good, because the level of the water is rising, which can lead to flood, tsunami, and can cause severe damages.